Hi YouTube, it's Kathy here again, coming to you with my day 12 Optifast update. I was going to wait till day 14 so it was a true 2-week Optifast update, but I have some exciting news. I can't wait to share it with you, and that is that I've lost 10 pounds in that first week on Optifast. Amazing. I'm just floored by that, and I'm happy and I'm excited, and I just wanted to tell you that hard work does pay off. And I'm getting used to the Optifast. I'm not going to tell you that it's any better because it isn't, but I'm getting used to it. And my hunger is subsiding a little bit. I still get cravings to crunch, so I do reach for a radish now and again, or cucumbers and vinegar to get some sort of flavor, but nothing that you could really call food. 4 shakes a day, broth, sugar-free Jello, sugar-free popsicles or freezies, which I did manage to get from Low Carb Canada, so they're pretty good. So my weight update, I was 355, now I am 345. And hopefully by the time I have surgery in a little over a week from now, I'll be even lower, down into the 330 range at least. The lower that you can get your weight, the better it is, the safer it is. So that's another good reason to keep in mind for not cheating. I do want to have a safe surgery. I've never had surgery before. I'm nervous about it. I'm not overly nervous about it, but I am nervous about it. Happy that my husband's going to be there with me, and my mother will be there with me, and it's coming up. I was supposed to have a pre-op appointment on Monday through telehealth. My hospital is 2 hours away from where I live. We don't have a bariatric center near where I live, and this is a little bit of a concern for me because afterwards, if anything were to go wrong, complication-wise, I would either have to drive the few hours to the hospital that I have my surgery at, if I could drive there. If it was more serious, I would have to just go to the nearest hospital, and maybe they would transfer me if they had to, or I don't know. But anyways, so instead of them making me go all the way there to have my pre-op appointment, they have me set up with a telehealth appointment where I can just speak to the anesthesiologist and the pharmacist over a web conference. And that was supposed to be on Monday. They canceled it and made it Friday. And so next Friday I'll be getting that. And then a couple days later it'll be surgery time. So, I am going to definitely try to make a video in the hospital. One thing I realized is when I was looking at YouTube in the beginning, when I was making my decision about whether or not to have this surgery, I looked for people's hospital videos because all I wanted to know in the beginning was, how painful is it? How traumatic is it? How difficult is it going to be? Especially in the first few days of that surgery. Because if it was excruciatingly, unbearably horrible, I probably didn't want to do it. The thing is I found videos that ranged everywhere from excruciating to mild discomfort. And I know that's probably because everybody has a different pain tolerance. But what does that mean? Like, why is there such a huge difference in pain tolerance? And how can I grade what I see on a YouTube video in terms of my own realization of what a pain level is? I know pain from having a child. I know being in labor, and I know pain from that time of the month and having cramps, and I know pain from, being in physical fights. I was even hit in the head once with a baseball bat, not like on purpose. Somebody accidentally hit me at a baseball game with a bat. Right here in the temple, almost, well, just above the temple, and it just about, could have seriously killed me, but I had a big, huge goose egg, ended up going to the hospital. But, I mean, there are certain things that I've experienced pain-wise, and yet nobody can really tell me, and that's just it. You watch, I searched and searched and searched all these videos, and nobody can really tell you what it's going to be like for you except you, when you actually do it. But because I know there's going to be other people out there like me looking to see, I'm going to do a video of the day of my surgery after I am at least coherent enough to speak to you on that first day of surgery. My surgery is at 8 a.m. in the morning. So hopefully I should be able to speak to you by at least supper time, I would think. So this is my plan. If it doesn't happen, please don't be upset with me, but because I really don't know how I will react, but that's the plan. And other than that, there's really not a lot more to say. I'm just excited. I lost 10 pounds in 1 week. I don't think I've ever done that. I've done every diet out there, and I never lost 10 pounds in 1 week. I've lost 5 pounds in 1 week. I think that's the most I ever lost, 5 pounds in 1 week. 10 pounds is astronomical, just amazing. And I guess if I'm only having 900 calories a day, build between 9 and 1,000. It's no wonder. I was at 2,000 calories a day. And sometimes more. Sometimes 23, 2,500 if I had a really, heavy day. Most of the time it was 2,000. And most of those calories were not terribly bad calories. Like, I ate a lot of fruit and a lot of veggies. More vegetable than fruit. I ate a lot of protein. I ate a lot of, potato, bread. But whole grain bread. But I'm starting to learn that glucose fructose overrides whole grain. Okay, so one thing everybody should do when they look at their bread is, if there's glucose fructose in it, don't buy it. A friend of mine, Eleanor, told me that, and I've started looking, and I really had my eyes opened. She lost 10 pounds just from avoiding breads that had glucose fructose in it. After surgery, I won't be having bread, because bread is one of these binding type foods that's too heavy and mushy, and unless you have it as toast, even then, I won't be having that for a long time. So, but the way I used to eat is going to be very similar to the way that I'm going to eat after surgery, only in much, much, much smaller portions. 1 ounce to 2 ounces at the most. But in the beginning, it's going to be 1 or 2 teaspoons for each meal. Hard to fathom. Hard to fathom. Even with the Optifast shake you saw in my video a few videos ago, it's a big cup. Getting at least 8 ounces, if not 10 or 12 ounces of that shake in a sitting. So yeah, I'm only having 1,000 calories, but it's a big shake. It does fill up your stomach. Now, once the stomach is the size of my thumb, is how big the stomach will be after surgery. The first goal is just to get fluids in. Not to worry so much about protein right away, because the most important thing is to not get dehydrated. So you have to get your fluids in. Water, in particular. And then after a few days of that, broth, Jell-O, sugar-free, of course. I will forever have to have 5 grams of sugar, 5 grams of fat or less, to avoid what they call the dumping syndrome. And dumping syndrome is a very nasty cramping, nausea, hold your stomach and lay in the fetal position for a few hours because you've just ate something that is too high in sugar, too high in fat, and it's either going to come out this end or come out the other end. Or it's just going to lay in your stomach and make you miserable for a few hours. So, something I don't want to experience. And I'm pretty sure I'm not going to have to worry about the sweet part. As we know, I don't care for sweets. But the fat part, I've always loved my cheese and my yogurts and my cream soups, everything, cream in my coffee. So all of these things have to change. I have to go low fat. And now, another thing is after surgery, your tastes change. And so, even though I never loved sweets, some people find that afterwards they do crave sweet stuff. Some people used to love eggs, and after surgery they can't even tolerate or handle an egg. Some people used to like Brussels sprouts, and afterwards they don't. Or they didn't like Brussels sprouts, and afterwards they do. So your taste buds completely change. That's because there are actual nerves in your stomach that do have a mind of their own. They do have a taste of their own. And they're partly responsible for giving you your cravings. And during surgery, they cut those nerves. So that's why for the first, couple of months up to a year, weight loss surgery patients do not have hunger, let alone cravings. And if they have cravings, it's this kind of craving that I was talking about in my last video, just from seeing foods that you remember. But true hunger and true cravings don't really happen right away. I am looking forward to that. That would be amazing to have that. So anyways, I've taken this Optifast 2-week update, got into a whole weight loss surgery thing, but for anyone who's pre-op out there, this is the thing. These are the things that I've learned since I've researched and become prepared for my surgery. And you will learn this as well. And for those of you who aren't having surgery and you're just watching because you're curious, maybe you've learned a little bit about it. It is not an easy thing to go through. Some people say, I even had somebody say this to me at a weight loss support group meeting, I lost my weight the normal way. So yeah, I guess normal. But it's definitely not an easy way, what I'm doing. I will forever have to be careful of everything I put in my body to avoid that dumping syndrome, like I said, also to avoid weight gain later on, because eventually those nerves that are cut do start to repair themselves. Your body always figures out a way to overcome what you do to it. So the shock will wear off and it will repair itself. The stomach, of course, will never get larger than the size of an orange, maybe not even that big. So a cup of food at any one given time, and that's not until probably a year out or further out. So by then, I will have lost a considerable amount of my weight, up to 70% of my excess weight. That's what the first year does, and that's one of the reasons that people lose their weight so fast, is the body suddenly resets itself to what it should be, the set point for your weight. You wake up in your brain, because those nerves are cut, realizes, wow, you are totally overfed, and it makes it so you're no longer hungry. And you actually have to remind yourself to eat. You have to force yourself to make sure you get enough nourishment, and you have to take vitamins for the rest of your life, because you will not get enough in the small amount that you're eating. So 10 pounds in 1 week from Optifast. Yay! I'll talk to you all, just before my surgery. I'll give you a video update. And by then the nerves will really be kicking in, I'm sure. And if anybody has any experience with this surgery and they want to try to put into words what the pain was like, I would appreciate that, because the pain level is something I worry about. I know they have all kinds of good drugs, and I know that I'll be pushing that button like crazy afterwards. But, but still, I'm curious and I want to know. I'd like to know what to expect. So have a good week, everybody, and enjoy the sunshine. Get out there. It's almost summer. And thankfully, I mean, we had a long enough winter that I'm not complaining. If it gets up to 30, I'm not. I'm going to be happy and enjoy it. That's about it. Talk to everybody later. Have a great night. Bye.